video is going to be a challenge video. So I've been seeing a lot of makeup gurus and just vloggers that have been doing the I let my followers decide what to do for the day. So I thought, why not switch it up, and I created this I let my followers create a cake. So I asked on Instagram for you guys to decide the cake, what it should have, the decorations, what frosting and everything. And now you all get to see what cake you created. As always, all the recipes and everything I use will be in the description box down below. Now let's get started on this. So the first question I asked was what cake flavor you guys wanted, vanilla or chocolate? And the winner was vanilla. So we're gonna make our vanilla batter now. Start by creaming your butter and sugar together. Exact measurements will be in the description box. We're gonna add 3 eggs to this, one at a time, combining well between each addition. Once your eggs are well incorporated, add that final egg and mix for an extra minute. Add in your salt, do a quick mix. Put this aside and then get your flour, add your baking powder to this and whisk it together. Get your milk and add your vanilla to that. Get that butter mixture again and add 1/3 of the flour and combine well. And then add in half of the milk to this and combine until mixed well. And then add in half of your remaining flour, combine well. Don't forget to use a spatula to scrape the bowl. And add in that remaining milk, combine well. And then pour in that last bit of your flour and combine for another 2 to 3 minutes. I just finished making my vanilla batter, and the next question I asked was if we should add sprinkles to the mixture, and the answer for that was yes. So I'm gonna add the sprinkles into this and mix it with the spatula, and you can use any that you like. I use my traditional ones, the confetti ones, and I like to add a lot of sprinkles, about over a cup, but it's up to you how many you would like to add in. And just be careful when you're adding in your sprinkles. You don't want them to bleed, so don't over mix your batter. Now that my batter is done, I'm gonna get 2 6-inch pans, butter them, line them, and fill them with the batter and bake them. And this recipe bakes at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Depending on your oven, it may vary. You can always check with a toothpick or a skewer, and if it comes out clean, you know it's ready. I'm just gonna butter my pans. I'm using 6-inch pans. Adding my parchment paper and buttering again. You can always use flour if you like. And then with an ice cream scoop, I'm scooping out my batter evenly between these pans. And then I will give them a couple taps and then put them in the oven. The next question I asked you guys was what filling you wanted, vanilla or chocolate, and it was super close and we got chocolate. And I also asked what crumb coat flavor you guys wanted, vanilla or chocolate, and also a pretty close one, and it was chocolate. So I'm gonna do chocolate in between each layer and then a chocolate crumb coat on this cake. I'm gonna start by putting a dollop of frosting on my cake board, adding a layer of cake, and then adding that chocolate frosting in between each layer. Using an offset spatula to spread the frosting, and then add another layer and repeat. Frosting, spatula, cake layer, frosting, spatula, cake layer. And then I'm gonna do my final crumb coat here. Just add a thin layer of that chocolate frosting. And scrape off any of that excess frosting. Once it's frosted, I'm gonna place it in the fridge for a couple minutes to let it chill. All right, we're almost done with the cake. So the next thing we're gonna do is the decoration. And I asked you guys if you wanted to do stripes or petals, and you all chose stripes. And I also asked what color you guys wanted these decorations. Between neon and pastel, you guys chose pastel. So I'm going to be doing a vanilla buttercream exterior so the pastel colors pop better than if it were to be done with the chocolate. I'm adding my vanilla buttercream onto this and spreading it out, frosting my cake. I was trying to use the acrylic discs, but they made my cake crooked, so I ended up removing that top one. Once it's completely frosted, I use this scraper to add the lines. And then in 4 different piping bags, I added the pastel blue, pink, purple, and yellow and started sporadically frosting in between the lines all over the cake. I didn't want to do the traditional lines, so I ended up with this watercolor technique on here. Once you place those colors, start scraping off any excess frosting until you get your clean lines. If you have any gaps, just add some more frosting and then scrape it again. Now that the cake has been frosted, I have the final question, and it was Would you guys like a rope border with sprinkles or a drip with sprinkles? And drip with sprinkles 1. So I'm going to be doing a drip and adding sprinkles to each drip. It's going to be a little time consuming, but let's see how it turns out. So I ended up using candy melts to do these drips. I like how chunky it looked. Kind of reminded me of ice cream. Did a drip at a time and then added my sprinkles onto this. You can also make a ganache drip by getting 4 ounces of white chocolate and warming up a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and pouring it over it. I used some tweezers to also place some sprinkles on here. And here's a look at that cake. Here's the cake you guys created. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to leave a suggestion, put it in the comments down below. If you want to see pictures of this cake and everything I make, I do post on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All those links are down below. If you want to keep up to date with the recipes I post, hit the subscribe button down below as well. Until next time, stay sweet.